Hello? There we go. My PC updated. Like a whole operating system update. Run the intro back. We Gamba. We Gamba. Yakuza 2. That's what we do. Windows 11, unfortunately. It's hideous. It's hideous. It looks like shit. I hate it. I hate it already. And it sounds like shit. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. It's fine. It's not fine. It sucks. It sucks. You know how much customization I had to do immediately because it just looks terrible, like, by default? Only 70% of the code base is AI generated. Yeah, exactly. It's been so long, I'm just used to it now. Bro, it feels like a downgrade. It really does feel like a downgrade. Everyone says that about every Windows update. We didn't say it about 10, because 10 looked good. Like, Windows 8 was also hideous. Way more hideous than 11. That, we don't talk about Windows 8. But 7 also looked good. I got screwed. Like the Windows sounds. Oh. I hate getting the replay on the sword, man. Valve's been putting the work in to make Linux look better and better. I'm not convinced on the Steam OS. Wanted to be like the Windows phones. Well, the issue was that it was made literally for both. Like, the Windows phones were running Windows 8. That's why they looked like that. I don't want cherries. I want to win. That's what I want. Windows has also been putting in work to make Linux look better. Yeah, the biggest thing for me with Linux is just it needs to be at a point where like all of my shit will work on Linux before I could even consider it. Like until then it's just a default no. Until everything works on it, it's a no. We're getting screwed. Got some moons. I like Linux as a secondary. Wouldn't run it as a primary, though. I had to uninstall so much of the extra, like, bloatware again this morning, too, when I booted my PC on, because I did the update last night. I was like, I'm not in the middle of editing a video. I'm not streaming today. So yesterday I set it to update. And then when I logged on this morning, it had updated. And I had to go through and uninstall so much bloat. It was crazy. At least it lets you uninstall it. But like, it was a lot. It was a lot of extra bullshit. It sucked. Just going through it, I'm like, why is this on my PC now? I didn't put this here. Like, Microsoft Teams had to uninstall it again because they keep making it default. It'll reinstall some of it when you're not looking. I'm sure it will, too. This is rough, boys. This is rough. Not our best session at the Aladdin machine. Gotta say. There's not much dopamine going on here. Did you see the COD news? I mean, yeah, I did. It's not really news. Like, they're kind of just saying what we already knew was going to happen because of leaks and stuff. So it's not like news, but I did see that they're confirming they will no longer do back-to-back games. Like, no more double Modern Warfare, double Black Ops. That was the big announcement, was just that they're not doing that anymore. Only thing it doesn't work with is kernel level anti-cheats, but I could be wrong. Yeah, and those are just becoming more and more common. And they're still not working. They're still not doing anything, but they are becoming more common. Like, multiplayer games are kind of shifting towards kernel level being like the standard now. Saying they sold 67% less than Battlefield this year. Well, they're saying, well, okay, here's the thing with the sales numbers. It did sell 67% less than Battlefield. But that figure, we only have one comparable figure between the two. And it is for physical game sales in England, specifically. We don't have figures for both games anywhere else. So that measurement is coming exclusively from physical sales in England. Because we do have those figures for both. But, what also just came out was like the November engagement data for PlayStation and Xbox. And for both of them in the month of November, Call of Duty was the most played game. Just because it's COD HQ, so that could be BO6 or BO7. Like on an individual basis, but point being, the COD HQ was the most engaged with app on both PlayStation and Xbox last month. So it's kind of weird. We don't really know. It's also like Battlefield came out in October, so we're not comparing like launches because the launches were a month apart. So we really just don't know. We're still in a solid spot of we have no idea. God save the king. Is a large enough sample to extrapolate sales from, in fairness? Yeah. But then you make it physical only. And like England is pretty sizable, but they're not in the top 5 for like gaming consumerism. And physical is just dying more and more over time. So it's kind of hard. I think they would sell more if they just dropped the campaign. Just had MP, went 100% in on zombies and made it as crazy as they could. The zombies is as crazy as it could have been, to be fair. I feel like they basically... Well, okay. We also now know... We have new, like, insider details about what was happening behind the scenes with BO7. It's not a whole lot new, but we do know a little more. Treyarch did not make the campaign. Just flat out, Treyarch had nothing to do with the campaign. Which makes so much sense in terms of, like, multiplayer's great. Zombies is phenomenal. That campaign is a piece of dog shit. Like, because it was weird before that was the case. But now it's like, okay, it wasn't even the same team. So that kind of makes sense. Raven, and I'm trying to remember who else assisted Raven. But it was primarily Raven who developed the campaign. And they had another team assisting them. Like from the COD mines, one of the normal ones. The negativity has come from the campaign, though? No, hold on. I think it was High Moon, actually. I think it was Raven and High Moon. That sounds right. High Moon is a COD studio these days. Hold on. No. You want to see where the negativity came from? Hold on a second. I got you. You want to see where the negativity came from, chat? Because it is so simple and so easy to look at. Granted, with a plugin, but I have one. Here is the first reveal trailer of the game from early June, like the first week of June. I was gonna say, is this gonna work? It is. Thank God. The update and everything. I was like, will it? From June 8th, this is where the negativity came from. It's an Infinite Warfare situation where regardless of how good the game was, it was decided literally like the day that they revealed the game that people were going to hate on this game all year. Like, it was just one of those things. It was exactly what happened to Infinite Warfare. If we go back to that as well. Infinite Warfare, notoriously, at least for its time, I don't know if it still holds the title, but the most disliked video on YouTube when they first revealed this game. Just because people saw it and were like, nope, I don't like it. It's a repeat of that situation, basically. Because what I keep saying is that the campaign just gave that crowd, I guess, for lack of a better term, I can't think of a better way to put it, something to latch on to. Like, to hate on. The campaign and the AI generated stuff. Like, those two are the two things that you hear, like, making it the worst COD ever, right? But, like, I'm playing it and, like, it's fun. The campaign, played it once. I'm not gonna play it. Well, actually, I played the campaign twice because I played it with False. But that's unusual. I would not have played it twice. I would have played it the once. I would have only played it once. Were I not playing it with her as well. You know something good that Windows 11 has that 10 didn't? What? I decided to play all RE for the first time. You start an RE marathon. I'm starting Yakuza for the first time, and I see you do a marathon crazy. Both the RE and the Yakuza stuff has been going for so long because I started them on top of each other. Which was certainly an idea. Maybe I want to play it again. Let's run it again, then. Let's do it. Me neither. That's a good one. It's still getting security updates. Windows 10 doesn't get those anymore. Unless you pay for them. Infinite Warfare Zombies kinda slaps. Kinda is the key word there. Because Infinite Warfare Zombies, the core gameplay of it is not good. Like, Infinite Warfare, out of the entire COD franchise, has the worst zombie collision ever. Like, which sounds like an insane problem to have, but genuinely, the zombie collisions and just the ways that, like, things happen when you end up running into a zombie in that game are jankier and buggier than they were in World at War. Like, for some reason, Infinite Warfare's zombie collision is just dog shit. Like, there's a lot of core gameplay stuff, but that's the first one that comes to mind for me, because holy shit. Didn't Exo Zombies have worse? Fuck no. Infinite Warfare by far. Like, Exo Zombies had better than World at War. No, dude, Infinite Warfare, if you, like, touch a zombie, you genuinely bounce off of them. And that bounce can bounce you into another zombie, which will then bounce you like into a horde maybe. Doing high rounds and speed runs in Infinite Warfare was miserable. I never did them because the zombie collision made it so awful. Like, it does feel like you're getting pinballed around. What Infinite Warfare has is it has one map that was the launch map that is one of the best zombies maps ever. Spaceland is incredible. Like, genuine, top tier, unmatched quality zombies map. The map itself and like the quest design and stuff within the map is unmatched. But the core gameplay sucks. And then like Raven the Redwoods is a solid like A-tier map, which was DLC 1 for the game. So the second map for the game was also like good, really good. And then the other 3 maps that came after were all shit. DLCs 2, 3, and 4 all sucked in that game. Like, none of those maps were good. So Infinite Warfare is a kind of weird one, where the zombies is good, kinda, depending on what part of it you're looking at. Overall, I generally say that Infinite Warfare Zombies was okay. Like, all pieces of the game considered, it was okay. I remember each map having celebrities on them. Yeah, each map, and then if you beat the Easter egg for each map, a fun secret that they kept running throughout the entire season was that you could input a cheat code in the lobby before actually starting your game. Again, after you've completed the main quest, where you could actually play as the map's celebrity instead of just getting one of the random crew members. So, like, Spaceland had David Hasselhoff playing himself in the map. You beat the Easter egg, you input a cheat code in the lobby before you play Spaceland again. You could play it as David Hasselhoff playing himself. And then, Rave had Kevin James. Kevin James? No, Kevin... Wait, hold on. Kevin... Fuck. Kevin Smith. I was like, Kevin James is a basketball player. Kevin Smith. Thank you. David Hasselhoff from the SpongeBob movie, the very same. It had Kevin Smith. And if you beat the map, you could play as Kevin Smith on that map. Shaolin Shuffle had Pam Grier. You beat the map, you could play as Pam Grier. I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, Attack of the Radioactive Thing, DLC 3, had Elvira. You beat the map, you get to play as Elvira in Zombies. And then Beast from Beyond actually didn't have a celebrity. That it weirdly just got dropped for the final map. They just didn't do it again. I don't know why. Like, looking back on it, I don't. They didn't do one for the final DLC. The final DLC was the worst one in general, though, so not much was lost. Forever be a game I look back on fondly because Kit Harington was space stalling. Bro, and Kit Harington was wasted in that campaign. Like, they did nothing with him. Nothing at all. Why is the main character of Home Alone a banned word on YouTube? It doesn't necessarily mean that there was a banned word in your message if it gets held. Because it does, like, it reads context. Whatever bot on YouTube filters things. It genuinely, like, we've had people mess with it before, where whatever word you think is getting blocked, if you just enter it on its own and press enter, it goes through just fine. But it is capable of, like, deciphering context from your message and somehow determining whether or not it's appropriate to go through. It's really weird. We're getting screwed today. It's not doing a very good job. It never has done a good job. Yeah, actor's name, however you spell it. I couldn't tell you how to spell Macaulay Culkin. Infinite Warfare was weird. Good. The best thing about Infinite Warfare that I always say was they raised the perk limit from 4 to 5, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but that 5th perk slot really opened things up like way more than you would think. Because you play zombies enough with the 4 perk limit, and you do kind of get used to like, okay, well, I always need Jug. So like that's one slot that's always taken. Whether you're playing in solo or co-op, you almost every time are going to take Quick Revive. So that's 2 slots taken. And then generally, like, depending on the game, it's gonna be like, well, there are just 2 perks on the map that are better than the other perks. Even though the others aren't bad, there are just 2 that are better. So, like, you might, if you're playing BO1, it's like, especially if you're playing BO1, actually, PhD Flopper is fucking broken. So, like, there's 3 gone just by default already. And then it's like, okay, which 4th one do you want? Maybe you want Speed Cola. You probably want Speed Cola. Because what are you going to take over Speed Cola? Double Tap? Mule Kick? Dead Shot? Maybe Stamina. But even then, really? In BO1? No. Like, the 4 perk limit is so restrictive, which is part of what makes it interesting, but it also kind of gets to a point where you're like, okay, every time I play this map, I'm running the same 4 perks, because there's not a whole lot of variation here. But giving them that 5th slot, just that 5th one, that genuinely was like, this slot can be whatever I want it to be. And like, what I might feel like can change from game to game, because there's not a default best thing to get here. That 5th slot did a lot. And I would prefer having a more lenient perk limit to just not having a perk limit, personally. Brother. Come on now. Origin Stamina Up? Yeah, sometimes depending on the map, Stamina Up is like a required perk. Because the map is just too big, or it's like Origins where there's like hazards that slow down your running speed. Depends on the map, but basically, you end up pretty much having your 4 perks decided for you already. Aladdin. Don't give me a cherry, brother. Come on. I didn't even get one. It did all the crazy shit. And then conned me out of my big jackpot. Oh. It didn't even give me a win on that. The guarantee. Oh. Did we ever place a bet about RE9's second character? No, we did not. Now we're cooking. We just needed to get things going again. I felt like I was getting more Aladdin chances when I was stopping the reels in different orders. That was placebo. I guess you probably saw the PlayStation Store leak. Yeah, I'm so, like, I'm pissed for the developers that they had that surprise ruined literally like 3 days before the Game Awards. Or I guess 2 days before. Isn't the Game Awards tomorrow night? Because, like, mark my words, he's going to be, like, the big reveal at the end of them showing off RE9 tomorrow night. Yeah, they clearly, like, they wanted to wait and save it for, like, right before the game came out. What happened? Leon leaked officially through the PlayStation Store. They had, like, this alternate cover art that they've been running all throughout the year to, what's it? To be like, yeah, it's just Grace's game. But then apparently the real cover art, I haven't seen it. My bad. The real cover art has Leon big in the back behind her because he's the secondary character of the game, apparently. And the PlayStation Store leaked it because pre-orders became available. And when people bought it, they were getting the real cover art showing up in their library. Data mining. It wasn't even data mining. It was just PlayStation straight up giving people the actual cover art. By mistake. And like, that was totally the big reveal for tomorrow night at the Game Awards. That was 100% why they were hyping up their presence at the Game Awards so much and everything. Man looks old. Well, RE9 is going to take place in 2026, I believe. Or no, I think it was 2028. And, what's it? Leon would have been born in, like, the 70s somewhere. I don't remember when exactly. 70... Hold on, I'm finding it. Why does the wiki not have his birth date? Hello? 77. I found it. 77. So he's gonna be like 51 years old. There's Capcom that decides what the cover is for the PSN interface. Yeah, but I don't think pre-orders were supposed to go up yet. Because on the store page, it doesn't show. It was only when people were putting their pre-orders in. I think it was that pre-orders went up too early, was the actual issue. Because it was only within the, what's it? The library that they were seeing the Leon cover art. I got robbed. The Leon cover is real. The one from yesterday is actually real, yes. The PlayStation Store leak is legit. Acting like Leon wasn't gonna be in it already. Leon was never a guarantee. People just wanted him to be, like, all year, and were acting like it was a guarantee, but he never was. Like, they were saving this big reveal, and it's very unfortunate that it got leaked, like, 2 days before the actual reveal. Was super sure he wasn't gonna be in the game? No, I was just saying that the leaks were BS. Like, I was just saying that all the leaks were just fake. Which, yeah. Even now, like, none of them were actually them having insider info. It was just people throwing shit at the wall the whole time. Like, even Dust Golem has already done so much backtracking on his own leaks about Leon in the last, like, 24 hours since the leak. Because he pretty much immediately had to. Let's hope 51-year-old Leon has a younger hot wife waiting for him back home, and her name is Ashley. No, I was talking about it with False last night. What if the big twist with the game is that Leon is Grace's father, and that he and Alyssa Ashcroft had like a little fling going on like 20-some years prior to this game's events? Which it would be somewhere like between RE4 and RE6. Roughly. If Grace were to be her age and everything. And yeah, her response was that Leon doesn't fuck. Her response was that Leon is too, like, non-committal to actually get women. Maybe they met at bingo? Exactly. You know, RC Survivor bingo. Leon's the type of guy to say, I don't make love, I fuck hard. He actually doesn't fuck at all, he puts up a front. Well, one thing is for certain. There's one thing that we can say with 100% confidence. He and Ada never, you know. Whatever movie. That's, why do I always want to say Grey's Anatomy? It's 50 Shades of Grey, isn't it? Oh. The issue is Leon, not the women. Yeah, it is Leon. He always talks up a big game, but then doesn't actually do anything. Until that one time in RE6 that he actually decided to try to go for Ada. And then she still just like grapple hooked off and said goodbye. Haha, and left. I think he's a shy little guy that fumbles hard. Maybe. Like my goat, Solid Snake, who sleeps with women of dubious age. I'm gonna not. I had to hold back the brain rot. No, I'm still struggling to hold it back, actually. Okay, come on, please, Aladdin. I'm begging you. Please. Keep business and pleasure separate. Oh, fuck's sake. I'm a Leon lover. Makes sense. This game hates me. Come on, Aladdin. Come on, Aladdin. You're wounding me with your Leon criticisms. They're not criticisms. She just actually does understand Leon. None of this is criticism. This is just legitimately his character. Aladdin is just a tease. Come on, man. Well, she mostly understands Leon. Mostly. She hasn't played 4, so there's a weird gap in there that I have to help her fill out sometimes. But she mostly gets it. Is there a word for a guy who's teasing Win in that way? That would be Leon, basically. I don't know if there is a word. I feel like there is, I just can't think of it. There has to be a word for that, right? Bro, the Aladdin machine is just being brutal today. What the fuck? Crazy. There has to be a better word. Taco tease. I thought about not saying it like 6 times before I actually said it, and even now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said it. Ugh. Come on, please, Aladdin, I'm begging you. I don't know. There should be a word for this, right? Someone suggested clam jam. Oh, that's awful. Oh my god, Aladdin. I'm begging you to give me another win. As a taco? I mean... never mind. I was about to hold up my hand. Please. Please. I need something big. Help. Help. Shit. False is sending me the Reddit thread that she found of people trying to come up with a name for it. These are crazy. These are wild. A clit tickle. A hole troll. A pussy poker. I don't think he's poking anything. I think that's kind of the whole point. Tickle is crazy. Just a little tickle and then he's done. That's it. I like hole troll. You a movie buff? No, I'm not as big on movies. I have like a compulsive need to do stuff. So sitting and watching is a struggle for me. Ask false. I can't sit still. Like, I can't just sit there and not do anything. It's a struggle. Days and 40 nights. Oh god. Drives me crazy. If I ever do sit still, you know that I'm fucking exhausted and just trying not to pass out. Need a fidget toy? No, it can't be like a fidget toy. Like, I need to be like working on something. Like, I need to like do something. Like, even a fidget toy, like, that is doing something, but it's not like working towards anything, if that makes sense. I'm not making progress on anything. I need to be like doing something. He doesn't watch movies. He watches half of movies. I do. When I do watch movies, I watch them like in halves. Watch movies together at some point. We have. False tell him. You tell him. $50 Shades? No, we should though. That movie's way funnier than it should be. Like, genuinely, that is like a comedy movie. There's nothing about that movie that can be taken seriously. I refuse to believe that anyone can sit through 50 Shades of Grey and take it seriously the whole time. There's no way. When I watched it, I laughed through the whole thing. I was like, this can't be real. This actually cannot be real. I'll read you the book. Isn't the book worse? It's better, she says. God. It was gross. I'm not going to repeat my experience at the cinema. Oh no. Oh no, what does that even mean? I don't even want to know what that message means. Oh god. The air was moist? Jesus. I bet that shit smelled like a Pitbull concert. We try again. I could hear panting. Oh my god. This machine is not giving us anything today. Let me go backwards. I don't think this is solving my problems. it's really not. How am I getting the same thing in the middle row every time? What? Okay. Went back to the normal way. It worked just fine. Things are changing again. If I do it backwards, though? Oh, okay. Different result. I just broke the loop, that's all. You know those cop videos? I did watch one where a woman went to the movie theaters to do her deed and got caught. You say do her deed. That makes it sound like a solo activity? But like, why? Why go to the movie theater? Yes? Solo? Why? Oops, wrong slot. That was from way, way back. There was the one... I don't remember what her role was. I want to say she was a congresswoman. We had a politician here in the US get arrested for doing it in the theater with her boyfriend. I want to say she was a congresswoman or like a senator or something like that. I'd vote for her. I don't remember who exactly she was. Like, I can picture her. I can see her face because I remember this being such a big, like, funny thing when it happened. Ruth Bader Ginsburg? This name sounds familiar. No, no, I don't think it was her. I know why she sounds familiar. No, I don't. It was not her. No. It was not her. Oh my god. That was... Jesus Christ. I'm getting all these things. I don't think any of them are gonna mean anything. What did this Ruth lady do? She didn't do anything. She was our Supreme Court justice until she died a few years ago. Good luck 100%ing Yakuza 5. Bro, Yakuza 5 is gonna seem like some goo goo gaga baby bullshit after Yakuza 2. Good lord above. This is going so much worse than we expected. And then the few people who have tried to 100% Yakuza 2, of course, chime in after we start and it gets this bad. And they're like, oh yeah, Yakuza 2 is actually the worst one. It's just that no one plays it, so no one knows. Fuck's sake. It didn't even... As in, not Kiwami 2? Not Kiwami 2, Yakuza 2. Which is this. This is Yakuza 2. Fucking hell. Didn't Yakuza archives say that Kenzan was the worst. No, what he said was Yakuza 2 is the worst, like, all around, especially because of the minigames. The minigames are what make it the worst. But Kenzan has the second worst minigame completion, was what he was saying. We've been hovering at 6K for almost an hour now. Tonight is not the night. Broke Sauce is back. I genuinely don't believe the minigames in this game were meant to be beat. Clearly they were not at least like tested or anything. Because holy shit. They just threw these requirements out there. That one has not played before. That's one that's been in there and just has not played. Hasn't actually come up yet. What was that even? It was just her saying, "Hi, Daddy." That's the whole thing. I'm assuming how long would it take to unlock the Dragon of Dojima?
Oh, yeah.
Tonight is the night, a moist night.
Why is it moist? Thank you for the 2 DS. What's the goal here? The completion for Pachi slots in Yakuza 2 is to hit 10,000 medals in one sitting at the Pachi slot machine. It's to go from 0 to 10,000 without standing up from the machine. Is the requirement here. Why I say that I don't think they actually tested this. I think they just threw numbers out there and left them in the game, expecting no one to do this. Thank you for gifting a sub, DS. Appreciate it. Oh, please. Aladdin. I need something more than free replays, man. Please. I'm losing it here. All right. Oh. It loaded from the wrong slot. There. Good lord. We're even, like, sort of kind of using save states as checkpoints, and this is still miserable. You really like that gif of that man baby? Ever since I sent it to you the one time, I saved it because it was so stupid. We've tested a lot, and this is the only way it works. It is. We're trying not to totally cheese it with save states. What we've been doing now, after already trying for, like, a total of 15 hours to do it naturally, and it just was not happening. The highest we ever got with actual luck was, like, 3,000. We've been putting down a save state as a checkpoint, like, every 1,000. So right now I'm up to 6. It's crazy because, like, I'm only up to Yakuza 6 in playing the games for the first time for the reviews. And even playing Yakuza 6, like, the minigame completion in that game compared to this is insane. Like, Yakuza 6 basically is just like, oh yeah, go play darts, like, 5 times. That's good enough for 100%. Just play it a few times. go play the arcade machines, beat like the first level of them. We'll give you completion. That's good enough. Whereas this game is like, sit here and suffer in this minigame for 30 hours straight, and then maybe we'll give you completion. Maybe. 6 is the easiest. People were saying that the minigames get easier even after 6 for like completion requirements and stuff when I was last talking about it. Also, YouTube Premium is great. It's life-changing. Magic Genie? I haven't seen you in so long. Yeah, catch 100 UFO catcher toys. That was honestly one of the easiest things we've done in this entire game so far, though. Magic Genie. Why do you do this to me? Why? Why? Oh, Magic Genie again? In Pirate, if I remember correctly, all you have to do is play the minigame once and be done with it. That's insane. Compared to this shit. It didn't even give me anything on that one. Really more about the side modes than the mini games. Aladdin, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Please. Oh my god, it's back! It's finally back! The first Aladdin chance in an hour. It's been over an hour. We're back. Progress can finally happen again. Down my leg. Yo, what? Huh? Down your leg? Don't think about it? Okay. What's next after slots? I don't know. Whatever's next, I think... I'm trying to remember what's available right now. Mahjong is available right now. And we haven't done that yet. I want to get the mini games out of the way so that we can actually just play the game. And not, like, have the mini games still looming in the background, right? It's better to just get them checked off as soon as we can. Just fucking... I want the mini games totally out of mind. All that for 166 medals. Well, we just need the next one now. Can't imagine Mahjong for this game if slots are this bad. I think Mahjong just is like a rank thing, right? I think you just have to climb the ranks. Which will require me to really learn how to play it properly, but aside from that, it should be a lot easier than this. Plus, like with that, at least that's like a skill game that I can learn and get good at so that we can complete it. Whereas slots is just like, yeah, sit here and fucking spin the machine for 20 hours. Maybe we'll give you completion. If the machine is feeling generous that day. Easier to learn than the ones with Hanafuda cards. Hanafuda cards are pretty easy too. It's just that it's really weird, like they're so unusual to try to learn if you didn't grow up with them. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that Mahjong is not bad to complete at all in this series, and that the only people who dislike Mahjong and think that it is a problem completion-wise are just the people who are, like, unwilling to try to learn it and who try to brute force their way through it. Which I'd assume is, like, the same for Shogi and stuff, too. Which I'm also actually just gonna learn how to play Shogi well instead of using a solver to blast through it immediately, because that's silly. I'm not even playing the game if I do that. Still can't wrap my head around Shogi. It's because Shogi is so complicated. It's literally chess with, like, 10 extra layers of strategy thrown on top of it. Shogi is fucked up, man. Hanafuda took me until my last completion to understand. Really? Chess, but more interesting. It's fucked up. Especially some of the challenges in the games that do have, like, the Shogi challenges. They're crazy. There's one, I don't remember what game it is, but I remember one of the challenges being like, yeah, you start with a single, like, pawn, whatever the equivalent is called. I don't remember. You start with a single pawn that's, like, in the middle of the board. The opponent starts with all of their pieces, and you have to win a game against them by using your pawn to, like, capture a piece and drop it on the board somewhere, and then try to, like, convert their pieces into your pieces for the sake of winning. And I spent, like, an hour trying to do that challenge, and then just gave up. I just could not do it. It was so fun, and it was only like the first or the second trial in that game. It was an earlier one, and I remember being like, why is this an early trial? What the fuck? Don't complain about Shogi because it's the easiest to cheat using guides. Yeah, I think that's the only reason why people don't complain about it. Is you can literally just use, like, one of those apps that tells you the optimal move at every point in the game and everything. Or a guide if someone already just wrote out exactly what they'll do, if the AI is that predictable. Good Lord Almighty. If I get another cherry, I'm gonna lose my shit. An infinite shogi cheat item? What do you mean infinite shogi? Oh, it shows you the best moves? Are you shitting me? There's an item in-game in later games that just shows you your, like, optimal move. The built-in shogi calculator. How do you think Yakuza should use that budget? Because of now they're just hiring actors. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest. Because, like, the thing with the Yakuza series is that it already has done everything that I really want games to do on a shoestring budget, basically for the entire time the series has been around. Like, they've kind of always just made the game while spending pretty much nothing on actually making the game. And then spent all their additional budget on getting actors. Like, that's kind of what they've always done. Weirdly. So I would typically say, like, yeah, put it into the game by doing more stuff. Like, bigger story, crazier combat, bigger map, whatever it might be. But, like, Yakuza has always done so much with basically nothing. Like, everything that I would want them to do, they already do. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, weirdly. Wouldn't you want to see their formula evolve a little? I think that also is, like, I hear people say that all the time, but I'm still in the point of the franchise where the formula has never stopped evolving. Like, I've only played up to Yakuza 6. So, from my experience with, like, the 12 games that I've played, it has evolved almost with every single game. Like, the only real exception to that would be, like, Kiwami. Which was literally just, what if we made Yakuza 1 with Yakuza 0? But other than that, like, the formula has evolved constantly from what I've played of it. Although people talk a lot about it getting stale, so I don't know. I don't know at what point that changes, but at least where I'm at, they kind of always have. I would love Dead Souls Kiwami so much, though. I would, man. Cannot describe to you. It would make me so happy if they brought Dead Souls back. Or even just did anything with that. Like, Dead Souls takes place in its own...
Are you playing so hard to get, baby boy? I'm not. I'm playing Mass Effect.
It takes place in its own continuity, so they could even just do, like, Dead Souls 2 or whatever. Like, they could just do a sequel to Dead Souls. It's already in an alternate timeline of the series. They could just keep playing with it if they wanted to. They won't. They likely never will. But that opportunity is right there for them, should they choose...
Hey, I'm scared, but I'm aroused. I'm scaroused.
Should they choose to do something with it. People who think the series is stagnant hasn't played an actual stagnant series. I feel like most series don't really stagnate. Like, some do. I've definitely played some games where I'm like, holy shit, this is actually the same thing every time. Right? But even a lot of the time when people say that that's the case with a series, that's just not the case, which is interesting. I wish more of the titles were available on more systems. Honestly, that would be huge. The ones that stagnate are already dead. That's true. Whenever a series does genuinely just start doing the same thing every time, that's when people just stop buying it. It never works. Like, even Battlefield had a really scary few years lately. Like, prior to Battlefield 6, it's easy to already forget about it. But, like, bro, pre-Battlefield 6, Battlefield was in a really precarious spot, like, ever since 2018. Like, the future of Battlefield was questionable for nearly a decade, up until Battlefield 6 came out. And it's so easy to forget, like, as soon as Battlefield 6 was as explosive as it was on release. Like, really, it was a genuine question if Battlefield would be able to remain sustainable for a long time. Like, post-Battlefield 5 and then 2042 only made that issue so much worse. There was a genuine question of, like, is Battlefield going to die? And then, funny enough, they just changed it up, in air quotes, by going back to, like, Battlefield 4. Instead of doing the new formula over and over, they just went back to the old one, and it worked. Everyone ate it up. Please. Please, I'm begging. Five made weird thematic decisions, but was good in the end. 5 was shit when it came out, but eventually got better. Love for the next Yakuza to have a much bigger city to explore and vehicles. Is it weird to say that I think one of the best things about Yakuza is that they keep the maps small? Because, like, genuinely, I think one of the best things about these games is that you can so quickly, like, learn the names of all the streets. Like, learn where everything is, to the point where when you get a side quest and they say, like, this thing on, you know, blank street, you immediately know exactly where that is and where you're going. You don't even have to open your map. You just know where you're going, and you can make your way there without a waypoint. No fast travel needed. Like, that's one of the most charming... Oh, no. No, not threes. No, 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 no. Not the threes. Oh, actually, the threes are dope. I love threes. This 3 was a good 3 because it immediately gave me a jackpot on the next spin. This was a good 3. Because for those who don't remember, what the 3s are supposed to do, allegedly, is just raise your luck for a jackpot. But whenever I get a 3, I just get stuck in an endless loop of getting 3, 3, 3, 3 over and over, and I never get the jackpot. This time, that was good, though. I like that. But sorry, not even just, like, knowing where to go and the charm that comes with that, but even the fact that they can take that smaller space and just fill it out with so much shit that you literally can't take, like, 5 steps in these games without running into something. Like, something that's actually interesting and that you want to do. Like, Breath of the Wild, that was the stated goal of those games. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where you literally just could not go anywhere without finding something to do. And that's kind of true of those games. But, like, you play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and every time you run into something, what is it? It's a Korok or it's a shrine. And the shrines are kind of exciting. Because, like, the shrines get you health / stamina increases, but I've always hated the shrines personally and thought that they were just as unrewarding and boring as the Koroks. Because even then, they give you 1/4 of the progress towards that cool upgrade. Like, you don't even get a big reward for completing a shrine. You have to complete 4 shrines before you can actually cash in and get a reward. I've never enjoyed that system. The Koroks are even worse, but like, point being, you are constantly running into things in those games, but it's never stuff that feels fun. Like stuff that you're excited to have run into. Whereas you play like even Yakuza 1 or 2, like the PS2 versions, bro, you take 5 steps, you run into like this wacky ass side quest. You take another 5 steps, you find like a mini game. Later games, as they start going on, you take like 5 steps from the last thing you did, and there's like the world boss, like Mr. Shakedown or whatever, right? Like the boss that just roams the map is right there. And just like, you literally cannot move in these games without running into stuff that is fun and actually gives you good rewards. Like stuff that you want to do and that the developers reward you for doing. And I think that keeping the maps small so that they can just keep that insane pace is a good thing. I think that has historically been one of the best parts of these games. So I really, like, as weird as it might sound, I wouldn't want them to expand the map too much unless they went back to the design philosophy of Kenzan. Whereas I know no one's played it in the West. Whole issue with it never being localized and all that. No fan translation, blah, blah. But Kenzan, they actually did an open world map. It's huge. There's so much space to explore in Kenzan across like the whole district that you're in. I say district, the whole prefecture. Because you're not just in Gion in Kenzan. You're not just in that little red light district. You start out in Gion, but then you like go out to the less wealthy part of town just outside of it. And then from there are all these branching roads that take you like out into the countryside where there's other things to find out there. And like the world is huge in Kenzan. But then with Kenzan, they still packed so much shit into it. And they even took it a step further where like all of your main progression rewards, like learning new techniques for combat, getting larger heat gauge, all that stuff that would normally be in like the skill tree in these games, actually comes as smaller rewards from doing stuff in the open world. Like there's a mini game that you find early in Kenzan in the open world where just playing that mini game and clearing the higher stages of it gets you like 5 heat gauge expansions just for playing the mini game. There's the later training game where you like cut the watermelons, and the guy who does that, through doing that and playing that mini game, teaches you new heat moves for your sword stances. Like that's where you get the heat moves from. And then yeah, there's the waterfall. Like I was talking about horse archery, particularly there. But like the waterfall does it too. Like everything in Kenzan gives you something big for doing it. Like they managed to make a bigger world and actually fill it out like that. But then weirdly, after Kenzan, they never did that again. And no, Kenzan's map is not the same as Ishin's map. People say that a lot. The reason that people say that, aside from not actually playing Kenzan, is they both take place in Kyoto. And in both games, you can kind of go to Gion. But I say kind of because in Ishin, Gion is there, like the same district, but it's literally one street and there's like nothing there aside from a couple of main story moments throughout the game and then like one sub-story. Like you can go to Gion, but it's nothing. Whereas in Kenzan, Gion is like a full district similar to like Kamurocho. And yeah, the temple is there in both. The temple is unchanged. But It's the same world in the sense that they are both in Kyoto, and even like the same general part of Kyoto, but the games are like 250 years apart, so none of the map in terms of layout and all that is actually the same. Like it's genuinely entirely different between the two games, aside from like one single street from Kenzan is there inside of Gion, and then the temple is there. I always forget. But no, they're the same area, just literal hundreds of years apart, so it's not the same. Even though technically it's the same. Like the entire city area and everything is completely different. And also Ishin's world is smaller than Kenzan's. Like, there's a lot less to explore in Ishin than there is in Kenzan. It feels weird to hear that Ishin's in the 19th century. Well, it only feels weird because of Japan's weird history in that sense. Like, with their isolationism and everything. Like, because they were so isolated during the Edo period, while everyone else was having like this crazy industrial revolution and technology was booming, Japan just wasn't. Japan was like basically 100 to 200 years behind the rest of the world in terms of development during that period. And Ishin gets into that a good bit. Like, Ishin brings up the black ships and all that and everything. But I think for a lot of us in the West, like, that is kind of lost on us for the most part. Like, if you live in Japan, you know about all that history because you're taught it growing up. But here, like, we don't learn about that shit. I had to, like, be doing research on Google my whole playthrough of both Kenzan and Ishin. Like, just learning about the history of that period and what the games were digging into, because otherwise I would not have understood, like, half of what was being thrown at me. Like, playing those, and I can kind of see why RGG always said that those games wouldn't be fit for Western release. Because you kind of see it, like, with Ishin Kiwami having come out here now. Like, no one really talks about Ishin Kiwami. No one really gives a shit about Ishin Kiwami. And I think a lot of that is just because if you don't do a lot of external research as a Western fan, you can't even really appreciate, like, half of what that game is throwing at you. It is so intrinsically tied to to Japan's actual history, and we just don't know that history over here. Like, to be able to appreciate those games actually the way that they would in Japan, like the way that RGG intended for fans to appreciate them, you have to do hours of external research to be able to do that. It's been a while since Ishin Kiwami came out. Yeah, but like, it's been a while since 0 came out and 7 came out, and I was gonna say Infinite Wealth. It hasn't been that long. Kiwami 1 and 2 came out. Hell, Yakuza 5, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 3 gets more discussion than Ishin does still. Didn't Ishin Kiwami come out like 2 years ago? I think it was like 3 years ago now. Almost 4. I think it's getting on to 4 years now, right? Didn't it come out in 2022, chat? Correct me if I'm wrong. Ishin Kiwami? I think it was like early 2022? Question mark? Oh, it was 2023? Okay, so yeah, it's only like 2.5 years old. And 0 is obviously an extreme example for me to reach for, but like, genuinely, Yakuza 3 gets more discussion in this community than Ishin does. Like, any of the mainline numbered games get more discussion. But even then, like, Gaiden gets more discussion. Gaiden is kind of a good one to bring up in terms of it being a spin-off that came out around the same time. A little bit later, but like I bet you a year from now there will still be more discussion about Gaiden than Ishin within the community. I never hear people talking about Gaiden. I hear it all the time. And I think mostly in terms of like modern combat, but then I also largely hear people talking about it being a really short game. Like, I always hear it come up as like Gaiden should have been a bigger game. I'm gonna fucking reset it again. Shit, dude. I wonder what would be the case if we got the original Ishin instead of Ishin Kiwami. I can't say, because I haven't played Ishin Kiwami yet. But, I don't think it would be too different. Because from what I understand, like, Ishin Kiwami seems to downgrade the core gameplay a bit. But even that, like, Ishin's core gameplay was not what I loved about Ishin when I played it. Like, the gameplay was good, but what I loved about Ishin was, like, its main story and its setting, and just how much shit there was in the open world to do. Granted, it was really grindy if you wanted to, like, level up everything, and that was a pain in the ass. But the content itself was really fun. If it was a gameplay problem, people would talk about it. I mean, people do talk, like, the 10 people who have played both OG Ishin and Ishin Kiwami do talk about the downgrades a good bit. But, like, yeah, that's not... Like, when I think of how much I enjoyed Ishin, I always think of the story. That's one of the few Yakuza games that I actually feel like the story was, like, the best part. Because I normally don't have that opinion on Yakuza games. I normally feel like the stories in these games are big messes, to put it lightly. Yeah, the revelation, we don't talk about Ishin's revelations. Those were dog shit. Those were so unbelievably shit. I think it's because of the English patch that came out. What English patch that came out? I love the stories, even though they are big messes. I like to say that I love the characters, and I love a lot of, like, the big moments. But, like, man, Yakuza stories are such shit shows most of the time. Like, the main stories. Especially the earlier games. I feel like Yakuza 1's story is really great. Like, Yakuza 1 has a pretty special story. I do hold Yakuza 1's main story in pretty high regard. Yakuza 2's... not so much. Yakuza 3's... a little better. It's better than Yakuza 2. But still not so much. Yakuza 4? It's weird. I feel like the spin-offs tend to tell better stories in this series. Like, when I think best stories from this series that I've experienced so far, I think of 4 games. 4 of them come to mind that I would name as, like, the ones with really, really good main stories. It's Yakuza 1, Kenzan, Kurohyo, and Ishin. Like, genuinely, the spin-offs consistently tell such better main stories than the mainline games do. Granted, I haven't played Fists of the North Star yet, but that one's probably going to be weird regardless. Or Judgment. I haven't played Judgment yet. And Dead Souls? No, Dead Souls... Dead Souls is in a so bad it's good category. I've not played 7 yet, no. I'm up to 6 release order wise, so I haven't played Kiwami 2. I've played everything, spin-offs and all, up to 6. Haven't played Kiwami 2 and later yet. Also, fuck this slot machine. What if RGG makes Zero Kiwami someday, and then with Zero Kiwami as the base, reboot the series with Yakuza 1 that comes after that? I don't know if I would want that. I feel like I would rather just have them, like, go off into a totally... Well, maybe not totally disconnected, but a majority disconnected storyline. Like, just... genuinely, maybe like with Stranger Than Heaven, they set that all up because we know that a lot of it's going to take place in Sotenbori, like 100 years prior to the mainline games. What if that serves as like a setup for them to just tell a whole new story from the perspective of the Omi Alliance that basically has almost nothing to do with the mainline story that we've gotten up to this point? I would much prefer something like that than a reboot of the story that we've already gotten. Because I feel like rebooting the story that we already have only serves to detract from the story that we have, if that makes sense. Stranger Than Heaven at the Game Awards, I'm begging. I actually would love to see it at the Game Awards. That was not on my wish list prior, but now that you mention it, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, that is a game that is still kind of floating around, I would love to see that. I think RGG does an exceptional job writing their characters. Like Kiryu, Akiyama, Majima, Saejima. A lot of the villains are pretty compelling, but like, I feel like I'm mostly interested in the stories of these games for the characters and not actually the plots. The plots are normally where things go to absolute shit in these games. Only 2 platinum trophies in 2025. This is what having kids does to a gamer. How many games did I complete this year? Because I could just go off of like perfect games, and I'm talking 100%, but I genuinely don't know. Chat. It's been like an hour and a half. We have not made progress. This slot machine is determined to keep us trapped eternally. Giving up? I'm not. I'm just pointing out that it's been an hour and a half and we have not gotten away from the 6K medals mark. Please give up. No, sunk cost fallacy. It's miserable, but I can't stop at 6K. Like, all this pain. All of this pain. It's called a fallacy for a reason. Yeah, so is like slippery slope, but you don't see that stopping anyone from using it as the go-to in literally any debate ever. You could just exit and do something fun. I could. That would be Wonderful. There's such a fun game beyond this slot machine, isn't there? So, Aladdin, give me wins so that we could exit and go do something fun, please. Is also some kind of fallacy. It's because fallacies are kind of BS to begin with. Hot take. Logical fallacies largely are just things that people came up with to like discredit their opponent in a debate. Like you try to make any meaningful point, you're gonna hit a logical fallacy. There are just too many. How much to act like we did this? We can't act like it. It's gonna be on the completion screen. We can't just pretend. This game would give me a cherry just to have it pop up dead in the center so that I can't get anything. Can we save state every 10 medals then? No. Bro, even if we did, we would not get anywhere. Insufferable debate bros, love them some fallacies. Bro, have you ever like looked at the actual list of logical fallacies? It's crazy. Like literally everything is a logical fallacy. For the $2 maybe? No, not for the $2. Even if we did save state every 10 medals, it doesn't mean anything if we don't fucking win anything. Like, we aren't getting wins, is the issue, chat. Did you see that Netflix actually didn't factor in WB Games Division while offering their price? I did not, but that makes sense. Like, that doesn't surprise me. Oh, don't save. Load. Jesus. Because, like... Granted, this is kind of just the state of WB Games currently, but how many commercial successes, like large commercial successes, have WB Games had this decade? I'll ruin it for you. It's one. They've had one financial success this decade, and it was Hogwarts Legacy, and it was kind of a fluke. This decade? Yikes. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, man. Like, think of WB Games in recent years. What have they had? Hogwarts Legacy. Aren't all the Mortal Kombat successful? Mortal Kombat 1 is already not even getting an event at EVO. Which, if you know anything about fighting games, yikes. EVO did just confirm their lineup. Like, last year, they did have a Mortal Kombat 1 event, but it was, like, their lowest attendance out of all of EVO. This year, on their schedule, they're just not even doing one. Because people genuinely just do not give a shit about Mortal Kombat 1 right now. I remember WB wanting to sell WB games. Yeah, this is why. Multiversus All of the Lego games? Are those WB? Does Warner Bros. Own the Lego games? I know that, what's it? Obviously, I don't even remember their full name. TT Games is like the developer. Does WB publish them? There's Telltale? Yeah. My point stands. Telltale or not. It is published by WB Games. I didn't even know this. When was the last Lego game? I feel like it's been a minute. Was the last one the Lego Star Wars one? Oh. No. The last one was Lego Horizon, chat. Ouch. Just ouch. Yikes. That one wasn't even published by WB, to be fair. That one was published by Sony. When was the last? Yeah, the last one published by WB was the Skywalker Saga. Okay, so they've had two. They've had two financially successful games in the 2020s so far. Because the Skywalker Saga did sell a ton. And then Hogwarts Legacy. Other than that, it was like the Suicide Squad, Multiversus. Telltale is correct. But yeah, Telltale games. Gotham Knights was a flop for them. I even forgot about Gotham Knights. Holy shit. But yeah, that didn't go well either. Lego Horizon was Traveler's Tale. It was just published by Sony. I don't even remember. I remember pulling up the numbers from that game on launch. Because I remember not knowing that it came out. That was the funny thing. It was during a Yakuza stream at some point. Yakuza 1, I believe. I think we were still on Yakuza 1. But yeah, when Lego Horizon came out last year, we pulled it up. Oh, yeah. Fuck's sake. The game had 600 players on launch day. And 94 players the day after, and has never broken more than 100 since. Like, literally since launch day, it has not broken more than 100 players. Can you check the Skywalker Saga for comparison? I could. The Skywalker Saga launched with 82,000 players on launch. And it didn't dip below 100 players even once until... Did I say... Oh, man. Actually, it has never dipped below 100 players since launch. It has never gone below 100. Lego Horizon dipped that low on day 2. Skywalker Saga literally has not dipped that low yet. And it's been out for almost 4 years. So, there's the comparison. I'm actually glad we did that comparison, because that really puts it into perspective. Like, even within the Lego franchise. Ow, dude. All the hype for Hogwarts Legacy fell off a cliff like 5 months after it came out. Well, it's because, look, here to put my bias out there, because I talk about this game from time to time. I played Hogwarts Legacy on launch because there was so much buzz around it. I 100%ed Hogwarts Legacy on launch. And the game just wasn't that good. But I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Like, that game absolutely lives or dies on whether or not you are a fan of Harry Potter. Because as someone who is not a fan of Harry Potter, the game was fun for like 10 hours. And then it was boring as fuck after. Like, it was just mind-numbing. Ugh. It was not fun. What about that Game of Thrones game? Surely that did well. Oh. Yeah, WB Games has had it really rough this decade. Like, really, really rough. And I think that's probably why they weren't factored in. Because, like, right now, if you are looking to buy out Warner Brothers, their games division really isn't offering much to you at all in its current state. It was announced at Summer Games Fest. I've also not heard of Lego Voyagers, so I was sitting here like, what? But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, you make your own character. And like, really, that game lives or dies based on whether or not you're a fan of that world already. And I just wasn't. So for me, Hogwarts Legacy was like the most 6 out of 10 like boring, bloated open world game I had played in a long time. Granted, that is because I stopped playing Assassin's Creed years before. Otherwise, it would have just felt like a new Assassin's Creed game. Didn't enjoy his time in a British boarding school? Bro, no one does. They kind of brought it on themselves. Yeah. It's brutal, though. On WB. I'm just going to, like, the full list to just confirm that, like, this decade has been that brutal. Starting in 2020, there's going to be a lot of stuff that I haven't heard of, I'm sure. Yeah, like, immediately, they apparently released a Bakugan game on the Switch in 2020. That was their only published game in 2020. Oh, yeah, there's stuff I forgot about. Yeah, there is. Okay, chat, here we go. Lego Star Wars Battles was published by them. A mobile iOS Lego Star Wars deck building RTS. In 2021, they released Back for Blood. Yep, point still stands. Skywalker Saga was successful. That was successful for them. Gotham Knights was not. Hogwarts Legacy was. Also Jackpot. Hold on. What? And then I just don't get one. It was terrible at launch, but good now. It's a shame that Back for Blood came out the way it did. Where is my Jackpot? I got scammed. They did a mobile Harry Potter game in 2023. Can't comment on that. Okay. Oh. Mortal Kombat 1 flopped commercially. That's another jackpot that the game is not going to give me. Okay. Suicide Squad Multiversus. Oh yeah, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions on the Switch. Don't forget that one, chat. Oh, that one was a fake out too? Shit. No. What happened to my jackpot I was promised, dude? My big jackpot. My big win. But no, genuinely, like, I've gone through the list of all their 2020s releases. It is that dire for WB. They've had 2 successful games this decade so far. Wasn't the last successful fighting game they had Injustice 2? In terms of, like, large commercial success, that sounds right. Because, like, MK11 did pretty well within the hardcore MK community, but in terms of, like, the FGC overall, it was not very well liked. I don't know how it sold, like, relative to its budget, MK11. I think it sold pretty well. I think it just did not do very well in its post-launch. Compared to, like, MKX especially. But then again, MKX was MKX. Brother, is this jackpot actually gonna happen? Like, what's happening? Infinite 7s now? We have infinitely repeating 7s as well? It sold really well? I would have thought so. Because then I remember, like, one of the reasons that MK1 didn't sell as well was just because of the reception to 11. Like, people were more skeptical about MK. And MK1 did not prove them wrong. Like, I bought MK1. I still feel very burned by that purchase. I got so hyped up leading up to that game. I was like, this is gonna be a good MK game. It was not a good MK game. There it is. Holy shit, dude. MK1 sucked butt for real. Yes, it did, Owen. Yes, it did. You guys know what fighting game did not suck butt? Say it with me now. Tekken 8. Tekken 8. Save after each jackpot. I don't know, man. I don't know. The constant reboots for MK are exhausting. Even then, like, the story stuff doesn't help. Like, don't get me wrong, the story stuff is not helping them with the constant reboots and all that. But, like, MK just needs to nail its gameplay down again. Like, seriously, they just need to figure their gameplay out again. Like, go back to what made MK9 and X fun. And start there. Start there. Don't do the bullshit that you did with, like, MK11, where the game comes out like shit and then you patch it to having that fun in there. That doesn't work. Doesn't work with fighting games. Go back. Start with that formula. The additional shit, like the cameo system, kind of fun idea. Would have just been better as a tag fighter, though. Let's be real. just, if you want to do a 2v2 tag fighter, just do a 2v2 tag fighter. Don't do the weird assist exclusive thing and then lock a bunch of legacy characters behind assist only. Like, just make a tag fighter. Just make one. They're very popular right now. Like, Marvel vs. Capcom, people love it. Dragon Ball FighterZ was one of the biggest fighting games in the last decade. Marvel Tokon has everyone's eyes on it in the FGC right now. Like, just make a fucking tag fighter. Don't half-ass it. Just do it. Just do it. I wonder how much they paid Megan Fox. Bro, I forgot about Megan Fox in that game. God, she was awful. Like that. You hear people talk about bad voice acting, and in recent years, people are like, oh, Ada Wong in the RE4 remake was so bad. No, dude. Megan Fox in MK1 was fucking horrible. Oh my god, I forgot until just now. Ugh, that was rough. MK versus DC2? No, we do not need to go back to the Dark Ages again. No. You know what Megan Fox was actually good in? The FNAF 2 movie? I do not believe you. I don't. I don't believe you for a second. Not even for a moment. Not even for a picosecond. Transformers? Oh. Jennifer's body. She was Toy Chica. It actually fit so well. Are you saying that she had the same, like, stiff, robotic delivery that she did in MK, but because she was an animatronic, it worked? Is that what you're getting at here? Is this like a setup to a funny joke? Yes, and it was perfect. Oh, God. Poor Megan Fox, dude. But that... I almost want to go pull up her clips from MK1. Her voice acting clips from MK1. Because if you haven't heard them, I don't think you understand. And especially in a game, like in an NRS game, where they go all out with hiring and casting and all that, pretty much every time. They just got Megan Fox, literally for the sake of having Megan Fox, and she stood out because she was so awful in that game. Please do, it's so funny. I'm tempted. I am tempted. Gives us a jackpot, and then it slowly takes it away from us. It's happening again, chat. Megan Fox was hot, though. I will not allow bad voice lines to derail her legacy. Megan Fox was hot until, like, what, like 2007-ish? When she got all that work done. And literally, I will never forget, like, I didn't even see it until a couple years ago. But, apparently the reason that she wasn't in Transformers 3 was because Michael Bay, after she got all that work done, literally was like, you don't even look like the same person anymore. So at this point, we might as well just make a whole new character and get a new actress for her. Because we can't have you look so different and try to say that you're the same person. Like, it genuinely would be not believable. No, she talked shit about the movies. No, Michael Bay's statement on it is literally that he wouldn't hire her because she looked like an entirely different person. It's because she called Michael Bay like Hitler? What? Was Michael Bay just lying? Hold on. Why was Megan Fox not in Transformers 3? I'm curious now. Oh my god. Both are true. Genuinely. No, this is incredible, actually. Hold on. Okay. Both are true. So, both? Yes. So, apparently, Michael Bay's statement on it is that he got rid of her because she looked so different. That is what he officially said, like, in interviews. However, it came out years later that she had made comments about Michael Bay, calling him a nightmare and comparing him to Hitler. But get this. After those comments surfaced, executive producer Steven Spielberg went to Bay and told him to fire her immediately. So Michael Bay didn't even fire her. Steven Spielberg went to Bay and said, get rid of her. After those comments came out. And the reason that we know this is because Steven Spielberg revealed it in an interview like a few years ago. Oh my god. So both are true. Michael Bay tried to like give a different reason, but apparently that was the reason. And we only know that because Steven Spielberg was just like, yeah, I told him to get rid of her. She was a bitch. That's kind of crazy. That's a good one, actually. I just looked up Megan Fox pre-plastic surgery, and that is not the same person. Exactly. It really isn't. So his reason made sense. It did. Oh my god. I had hope when it went past the X. It was a fucking cherry. Steven Spielgoat. I feel like Spielberg had some really great movies, like back when he was directing. But am I wrong to say that he sounds like one of the worst producers to work with, like after he stopped directing and started working in production instead? I feel like every story I've ever heard about Spielberg as a producer has just made him sound like impossible to work with. Am I wrong for that? Because like obviously his career when he was directing was insane. Like his catalog was stacked. But then every story since he stopped directing about him working in production has just been like, man, I would hate to work with this guy. I would absolutely hate working with this guy. I mean, he just has a massive ego. I mean, fair enough. Have you seen his movies? He does have one of those catalogs where it's like, yeah, he's got an ego, but like, you know. Yeah, you can't argue with it. He's got one of those egos. You just kind of have to be like, yeah. Yeah. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was his last banger, don't at me. Damn. Played slots 1,600 times. It's been awful. The requirement for completion in slots in Yakuza 2 is to get 10,000 medals in one sitting. So, like, it has to be 10,000 in profit, mind you. So, like, if you sit down with 0 medals, like we did here, you have to get up to 10K. If you start out with 1,000 medals, you have to go from 1,000 to 11,000 in one sitting. Yakuza 2's minigame completion... I swear they didn't intend for people to actually do this shit. How much does a jackpot give? 300-400? Depends how lucky you get on it. Fucking cherries. Chat, we're about back to where we started. Two hours later and you've made 1% progress. It's because it genuinely just depends on RNG that day. Like last stream, we made thousands of medals in one go because we just got so much good luck. But then you get a string of luck like this where you just kind of lose the whole time and occasionally get a jackpot. And you kind of just hover the same spot for like hours on end. Like here, literally, we started this stream 2 hours ago with about 6,000 medals. 1,000 medal bet right now. The max is 3. You can only bet 3 a spin. I'm doing max bet every spin. This is horrific. Yeah, this is... Yakuza 2, for the people who actually have tried it, is known to be the worst game in the series when it comes to minigame completion. Because, like, I shit you not, almost every minigame has been this awful. Almost every one of them has been this bad. Yakuza 2 is great. The minigame completion... Oh, hold on. Hold on. Do you know how bad Kenzan will be? Yakuza Archive channel, or the guy who runs it, at least, hangs around in chat a good bit, and he's a bit of a Kenzan specialist, connoisseur, if you would. And by that I mean he's one of the 6 people who's played it in the Western fandom. And he says that Kenzan is also really bad when it comes to minigames, but not as bad as Yakuza 2. His words are, he's actually completed Kenzan's minigame requirements like multiple times over. Yakuza 2, he has tried to get minigame completion in, like a good amount of times. And he's never actually been able to do it. He's always given up on Yakuza 2. So, apparently, Kenzan is like the 2nd worst in the franchise for minigames. But Yakuza 2 is still significantly worse than Kenzan. This is real slots? This is real slots, yeah. The animations normally are nothing. It's true. Oh. I've never seen 2 of those in a row. That was weird as fuck. Has this been the whole stream? This has been the whole, like, last 5 Yakuza streams. What's the biggest jackpot on this damn machine? About 400. would like theoretically be the maximum, give or take a bit. Aladdin replay, son of a bitch. I hate this machine. It's one of those days. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. Today I hate it. It's true. Ten jackpots in a row, done. Simple, exactly. It's just that easy. Just get enough luck for 10 consecutive jackpots. And then we're done. Kuroda said, not every line has been re-recorded, unlike Kiwami 1 and 2 where they re-recorded everything. What? Kiwami 3 gets weirder with each passing day, man. Like, what? Alright. Oh, hold on. Alright. They've redone some lines. I'm so confused. I'm incredibly confused by this. Because they, not that long ago, put out this feature, like this behind the scenes with Kuroda and some of the writing staff on how they were like rewriting Yakuza 3. Like how the script would be so different and it would be a much more different story compared to the original than Kiwami 1 and 2 were. But now they put out a message to fans just to say that they aren't re-recording everything, so it will be more... I'm so incredibly confused. Okay, it's not a message to Western fans. It just says voice actor messages. In fairness. And is this the same thing that you're talking about? Because this isn't even regarding Kiwami 3. This is just something they did for the 20th anniversary. I'm gonna have to look at it later. Wasn't the primary message just something Kuroda said? That's so odd, though. That's... Yeah, in that video, Kuroda said he can't believe the changes they're making. So strange. That's so weird. I'll have to look through that. There's also one from the developers as well. It's not as long, but went up yesterday at the same time. It's so weird though. Like, so are they only recording new stuff like for the new scenes, or for like characters who have been recast? Obviously they'll re-record their lines. But like, are they just making edits to specific scenes and not the story as a whole? And only re-recording what they need to record either for those or for new cast members? And then otherwise using the original recordings, which are quite possibly going to sound like dog shit when put right alongside the new recording. Unless they still have the source audio, and even then, who knows? I'm so confused. At this point, I wish someone else could take over and finish this off stream. If only. I'm gonna start flying through like the later half of the Yakuza library soon though. Because what's that? Resident Evil is close to being done. Tomorrow's video is on Resistance, which was the multiplayer game that came with 3 Remake. And then we have Village plus DLC, because I wasn't planning on doing a video. Well, actually, Village I was kind of planning for a DLC video. That's a lie. And then we have Reverse, which was the multiplayer game bundled with Village. And then we have 4 Remake plus DLC. That's the one that I wasn't initially planning a DLC video for. But so many people have asked for RE4 Remake to get a DLC video as well. Whereas, like, with prior games that I didn't do DLC videos for, because I just didn't think that they were necessary, I have literally had no one ask about them. Like, not once for either of the DLC videos that I didn't end up doing has someone asked me to do them. But RE4 Remake, quite a few people have asked for, and I haven't even gotten to that game yet. 4 Remake is good, so you have to. My worry with the 4 Remake DLC video is just that there's not much to actually say about the DLCs of that game. Like, literally, the only DLC for 4 Remake is Mercenaries and Separate Ways, and that's it. And, like, there's not a whole lot to really delve into there. Whereas, like, with Village, also the only DLC for Village ended up being, Mercenaries and the Rose DLC. But at the very least, the Rose DLC is, like, new mainline story content, right? Whereas Separate Ways is Separate Ways, which they've now tied in to be more canon with the series overall. But it's Separate Ways. Like, Separate Ways was always just a little side thing that they did. After... Or, sorry, not after. In order to sell the PS2 version of the game. Because what everyone always forgets when talking about RE4, granted, it's because no one actually played RE4 on the GameCube. Like, genuinely very few people did until the PS2 port. But Separate Ways was not part of the original release of RE4. It was like an added incentive with the PS2 version to give people a reason to buy the PS2 version in the event that they had already bought the GameCube version. So like even then, Separate Ways was originally not a very important piece of content. And then hated how much of a downgrade the PS2 graphics were. Yeah, that's one of the craziest things too, is that everyone played RE4 on the PS2. But then the PS2 version was so much worse than the GameCube version. Like, it was such a massive downgrade from it. How bad was the PS2 version? I mean, it wasn't a bad game. It was just significantly downgraded from the GameCube version. Primarily because the PS2's hardware wasn't as powerful or as capable as the GameCube's was. I believe the Switch port of OG RE4 is the GameCube version running in 60. It's not. The Switch port of RE4 is the PC port, the new fixed up PC port running on the Switch. Because the original RE4 PC port was also terrible. But then in like 2012, they redid the PC port and replaced the old one. And the PC version of RE4, at least the current PC version, is the best version on the market. And the Switch version is just a slightly downscaled version of the PC version, which is insane that they even needed to downscale it. But it's the Switch, so of course they did. I don't even know if they really needed to. I think they just did. I don't know. I don't know why they did. I can't imagine they actually had an issue hitting 60 on the Switch with it, but they must have, because they did downscale some of the textures relative to the PC version. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Sorry, I missed that. For some reason, they're not popping up in my chat box, but I hear them. Good Lord above. Can we get a win, please? Do you think they should have changed the Western title of Yakuza? Like, should they have kept Yakuza or Like a Dragon is a fine choice? I think either is fine, like whether they kept it as Yakuza or changed it to Like a Dragon for the sake of just matching the original name. Because like Yakuza, they could have just stuck with Yakuza. Like Resident Evil has never changed its name over here, despite not being called Resident Evil in Japan. The weirdness with Yakuza and the rebranding, like to Like a Dragon, is that they are not keeping it consistent. Like they're flip-flopping on it all the time. And that is kind of what leads to it being odd. Either way, it would have worked just fine. Like, they could have never rebranded it. It would have been perfectly fine. They could have rebranded it. It would have been perfectly fine. And, like, we know that it would have been fine even with the rebrand. Like, even if you lost the original name over here in the West, it's still fine. Because, clearly, like, Yakuza 7 sold great over here. It's just that they can't decide if they want to rebrand or not. That's the issue. Like, they keep going back and forth on it. Yeah, RE in Japan is called Biohazard. Like, to this day. It has not been called RE in Japan. The only time that it has is the same time that we saw the Biohazard title show up here in the West. Where here we got Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Like, Biohazard was the subtitle of the game.
Do you know who woofs woofs? I can show the DMs. Do you know who woofs woofs in my DMs? Someone that is in this chat.
In Japan, Resident Evil 7 is called Biohazard Resident Evil. Like, the subtitle of the game is Resident Evil in the Japanese release. And then, yeah, you get the super weird one of Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, where they went with both. Seriously? Yeah, the Japanese title is Biohazard Resident Evil, and it actually doesn't even have the 7 in it in the Japanese title. Here, let me pull it up. The Japanese logo for the game takes the Z in Biohazard and highlights a 7 within it. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, here's one of both. From Reddit. Of course. Here. Here's both of them. They did the same thing with both. They just flipped it. In Japanese, it's called RGG 8 Gaiden Pirates in Hawaii. Jesus Christ. But, like, in Japan, they just dropped the 7. Like, it's not Biohazard 7. It's just Biohazard Resident Evil with the 7, like, in the logo. Which we would end up getting with Village, where Resident Evil Village is not Resident Evil 8 in its actual name, but it has the 8 highlighted in the logo. That's what they did with 7. To be honest, I like the Japanese one more. It's clean. I like it. But there you go. For those who weren't familiar. Okay. I can work with that. Why did we get it earlier than Japan? We have gotten every Resident Evil game sooner than Japan since 7. Starting with 7 and every single one since, we've gotten a little bit sooner. I don't know why. I think it's because it sells more over here, but I don't know why they don't just release both at the same time, to be honest with you. I've never understood why they release it sooner over here. Like, I know that Western sales are bigger for Resident Evil, but it doesn't make sense. Oh, fuck my ass. Ugh. The Curse of the Threes returns. Salaryman schedules, perhaps? Oh, it could be. Now that you say it. Back on Akiyama's part in 5, it's so good. It's my least favorite part of Yakuza 5. And I'm like the Akiyama fan in the room whenever Akiyama comes up. We're getting 3s and 7s on top of each other. What is happening? It could be Salaryman schedules, actually. Oh, there she is. Thank God. I needed this. Desperately. Delaying the replay is actually good because it means that this lasts longer. Hold. Cole, what do you think happened to Tanimura after 4? They forgot about him. And by they, I mean the writers. It's the only thing that could have happened. Like, the fact that he's not even mentioned in 6, for me at least, kind of confirmed it. Went to Korea, by the way? Huh? When? What do you mean he went to Korea? Went with his teacher that was in 4. He went to the Philippines with that baddie of a detective. It's mentioned in a later game? What game? When did they mention this? What? It's not in the game I've seen. Oh, fuck. Okay. It's fine. Can you stream the Game Awards tomorrow? No. I thought he was based on someone who did something controversial after. No, I think they recast him because his original actor left the industry prior to the remaster's creation. At least if I remember right, that was the reason he got recast. Oh no, he was the fake drug scandal. That's right. That is right. Doesn't watch the events, he skims the news article a day after. This is true. This is also true. I have stopped watching like any of the big gaming events live because like 70 to 80% of those shows, there's no reason for me to sit through them. Like genuinely, I lose nothing from not watching them live. Save state, please. We didn't hit the checkpoint, chat. We came up with this rule. We can't keep bending them slowly. We can't. You invent? No, chat invented it. It was chat's rule. Don't put this on me. Armored Core 6, Ace Combat 8, Elden Ring 2. Yes. And I will watch all of them after the show finishes. In the span of like 20 minutes. You invented... Well, the 100% yes. But chat came up with the 1,000 point... Or, sorry, 1,000 medal checkpoint rule that we've been sticking with. Oh, god fucking damn it. There's been a change in Zapren. What change? Oh, fuck. Come on, man. Aladdin. Please, something. Give me something. Follow up a win with another win. Come on. Come on. Don't make me lose it all again. Oh. Richardson's and Kazama's lines have not been re-recorded for Yakuza or for Kiwami 3. You think that's what Kuroda was talking about? Why specifically those two, do you say? Like, is that something that we know? That those two aren't being re-recorded? Kazuma's voice actor passed away. Was he in the trailers? Kazuma? Was he in the trailers? No. He's a pretty integral character in that story. It says that on the website, does it? He was? I don't recall him being in the trailer. The shot of Daigo getting shot is in the trailer, but it's the one from earlier in the game before you see who shot him. He's shown but doesn't talk. Are they gonna reuse him? No way they cut him from the story. They just reuse the lines. I'm not thinking he's cut from the story. I'm thinking, what if they recast him? But then now we're hearing that they're not re-recording everything. So maybe not. But what if? Well, that's weird. Depends on the legality of using old voice actor lines. I mean, it's legal to do it. They would have to pay the family or whoever would be in charge of that, because when you're getting royalties for something like that, like ongoing, and you pass, that has to get passed on to someone, like in your will. Like, if I have a will, right? Hypothetically, not saying if I do or don't. My, like, YouTube royalties even will have to get paid to somewhere. YouTube isn't just gonna not pay that out to anywhere. I have to be like, yes, when I'm gone, this goes here. So whoever is collecting his royalties would collect those if they were to reuse the lines. Oh, okay. He was in the trailer. Fucking nothing. Ay, ay, ay. The slot machine is just pushing it today, man. Just pushing it. Not like he's ever gonna appear again. Yeah. But it's weird. I remember someone from RGG saying a couple years ago that they respect Kazuma's actor too much to ever recast him. Yeah, but RGG a few years ago also recast someone over a sexual assault scandal. So, like, clearly a lot has changed. I can't consider it out of the question, you know? And they could recast his actor while keeping the likeness if they consider him, like, or his likeness too integral to change. Be able to make a 24 hours of Pachi Slots video with all the raw footage from this. I mean, yeah. The NPC POV, seeing Kiryu just sitting there for 24 hours straight. Someone who works here, like, you know, gets off their shift, Kiryu's sitting at that machine, they walk by him. They come back for their shift the next day. Kiryu's still sitting at that machine, they walk by him. Paying rent at this point. The luck thing has to be real. The heightened luck thing from the guidebook. We were kind of questioning it before, but it has to be real. Right? Like, I have to have lost it here. I have to have lost it. The 3 curse? No, the guy who runs Yakuza Archive channel has the original guidebook for this game, and he was sending me stuff from the Pachi slot section of that guidebook. And in the guidebook, it says that certain machines have heightened luck for a short amount of time after sitting down at them. But that amount of time varies from machine to machine, and apparently based on luck as well. I'm starting to think that that's 100% real. Because the fact that when we do get a jackpot, that we then go like 200 spins after, just losing constantly. Like, it must be real. Hold on. For the sake of experimentation. Let's go back to when I had 5,000 medals. This checkpoint prior. Just pick up from wherever this was and let's see. Right? Let's just see. Is the luck higher here? Could be. Or maybe it really is just like, fuck, the machine hates us now. But we were flying last stream. Maybe not. Maybe it is just pure luck. I don't know. I don't know. I'm losing it. Maybe I am just losing it. Maybe it's not real. Because even beyond this point, we were flying up last stream. Maybe it is just genuine luck. And my luck has been this awful today. For the entire 3 hours, which makes it hard to believe, but like, maybe. Oh. Looked up Hamazaki's OG actor, and they kind of made Hamazaki look like him too. Not at all one-to-one though. Well, the thing is, the Yakuza series has been doing actor likenesses since Kenzan. Like, people do talk about it like it's a newer thing, but it was like an advertised point of their shift with Kenzan into the new engine and everything. Particularly like with Kiryu's redesign. And Majima. Are you able to come back to the open world after beating the game, or is that it? False. Listen. 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 The requirement is 1 sitting. If I get up from the machine, we go back to 0. Like, even if I leave with all these medals, then when we came back, I would have to get up to 15,503. That's not what I'm asking. You're saying, does the game allow you to explore in the open world after you beat it? No one said you have to do this before. That's not what you were saying, though. You said, hear me out. Are you able to come back to the open world after beating the game? Yes. That's not, can you go play a different game and come back to this later? That's, assumedly, hey, you didn't say it, but could you get up from this and do other things and then come back later? Do the slots at a later time. We're like 60% of the way through it, though. Why would I restart it just so that we don't have to do it now? Why would I start over? The point is to do less slots, not more. So you'll forget about it? I won't forget about it. I still think about the battle mini game that's not even part of the actual game in Yakuza 0 that we didn't do. I still consider going back and doing that before moving off from the PS2 era. I will not forget it. I don't work like that. Trying to preserve your mind. You tell me don't do that then? I'm telling you don't do that then? I tell you don't do that then. Because... Here. Fundamental difference between the two. When I say that to you, not to out this on stream, but to out this on stream, is because you were literally just doing content that you didn't enjoy because you felt like your chat wanted you to do it. That was the only reason you were forcing yourself to do that content. I am doing this because I've set this goal for myself and I want to do this. I wasn't talking about content. When I told you that, it was in regards to the side content in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Never mind. Oh, I remember telling you this. I know why I told you this. Don't talk to me. I know what I was saying. Was talking about other shit. Hated the side content in Rebirth. She wounds me. Yeah. He's gonna end up on the couch. I'm always on the couch. It's fine. I choose to sleep on the couch. She hits me. Please, Magic Genie. magic genie. The literal definition of insanity is slots, bro. And like the worst thing is that there's genuinely just not a way to do it better. There's not a way to do it faster. It just is what it is. I've said it about like so much of the side content in this game, but this actually has to be the worst part of it. Like there's nothing you can do. At least with the alien baseball, even though it was so bullshit, there is the possibility that I could burn the exact timing so deep into my brain that I could do it every single time, right? This, I'm just sitting here like, all right, maybe it'll give me something this spin. Nope. Okay, next spin. You're just mashing. Take your time pressing the buttons. It's not actually timing. That's not how Pachi Slots works. There's not any timing involved. It's just a visual spectacle. It predetermines the result before you press the button. Nuh-uh. I'm not even arguing it. I don't have it in me to argue it. The fact that we've got to play slots a second time as well after he does it. Yeah. The sub-story will not be this bad, though. There's at least that. Fucking replay. God damn it. All right, well, it's about that time. Fuck you too, Yakuza 2. That's what the 2 is. It's for fuck you too. Fuck the Aladdin machine. I'm gonna go back to video work and I'm gonna enjoy it after that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub, follow, whatever. Come back another time. We're doing this. We're doing all sorts of other stuff like Metal Gear, Resident Evil video tomorrow, by the way. It's way better than Yakuza 2 Pachi Slots. It's so much better. Infinitely better. What else am I doing? Ace Combat. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Come back for any of it. Also, if you enjoyed, leave a like. Algorithm helps boost it. Helps boost the suffering. It brings more people to the suffering. It's great. Thank you. If you've done so already, thank you if you're about to do so. If you're looking for links to anything else outside of Twitch or YouTube to engage the community, check out links in the description below on YouTube or on Twitch. They're on the channel page. They're in chat commands. Things like Twitter, Discord server, whatever. Those are all down there. You'll be able to find whatever you're looking for. Other than that, though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you again for the super chats, the members, stuff like that. I appreciate it. It made the suffering ever so slightly more bearable, as money does. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream, and goodbye.